Hello and welcome to the Feats and Fables 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons streaming game just for adventurers like you. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts by searching for Feats and Fables. If you want to watch us live and chat with us, join us on Twitch from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on Monday nights. I'm Paige Lightman, the DM, and I'd like to welcome you to Aglarond. Aglarond is a peaceful, pastoral nation of half-elves. Our heroes are part of the Foresters, an elite group of scouts and rangers charged with defending Aglarond's borders, particularly against undead from the evil, fascist nation of Thay. Our heroes are heading towards the Singing Sands, racing the nation of Thay to try and recover an ancient elven artifact. The Red Wizards of Thay wish to warp the artifact to their own evil ends. However, our heroes were looking for a shortcut through the mountains of eastern Aglarond by talking to the dwarves there, but they fell in battle to a tribe of ogres. Let's meet our former heroes.
Many heroes are dead, so.
All right, well, start us off. We've got Victor Toussaint, who was a human eldritch knight fighter played by Ron Franke.
Yep, I'm dead.
R.I.P.
Then we used to have Wildfire, a fire genasi evoker wizard played by Joe Streaky.
I mean, this is going to be a very easy session for me, because I got nothing to do.
Yeah, and you're working on filling that punch card. With so many deaths, you get one free or something?
That's true.
We used to have Ross, lizard folk Drake Warden Ranger, played by Coda of Codab Games.
Hello, everyone.
And I'd like to introduce the former Mira, who was a Water Genasi Circle of the Land Druid, played by Dr. Andrew Huang.
Is this really empirically death?
Good question. And we have our lone survivor. We have Silvio, a College of Eloquence bard, played by Ben Heisler. Oh, Tragan.
It's real good to be alive, you guys.
Apparently, we're restarting a computer.
Technology.
Fair enough. So previously on Feats and Fables, our heroes headed into Dwarven lands looking for a secret shortcut between Aglarond and the Singing Sands, only to find a siege of ogres around the Dwarven citadel. After pushing bravely through the front lines, our heroes rescued a small band of Dwarven soldiers. The soldiers said...
Paige. I'm sorry. We just got a subscription. Very important.
What?
Wow. That would be Shuma Ghostnix. Thank you for the sub.
Like more often.
Play the music. Play it.
We must dance.
Now is the time on Sprocket's heavy dance.
Man!
I don't actually hear the music.
Oh yeah! We got the subscription dance. Yoo!
Oh, this is a thing. Oh, Shuma. Well.
Oh, Shuma. If you don't feel like we all have guns to our head when that happens, it's not realistic.
HR would like to inform everybody that dancing in their contract, Ben. Well, there's a reason his camera's off.
The reason his camera is off is because he's getting a new computer in January, which he needs.
That's what we're definitely going to tell the forward-facing public aspect of Feats and Fables.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, you can stop the music now.
I don't know. This is so much better than the sad news that I was having to relay. Let's see, where were we? Yes. The heroes were heading into Dwarven lands only to find a siege of ogres around the Dwarven capital. After pushing bravely through the front lines and rescuing the Dwarven 7th Legion, where they were trapped behind a wall of fire, or wildfire dispelled magic, the wall of fire, at great personal distress to himself. They faced off with the leader of the ogres, a fearsome, plate-mailed, spell-casting behemoth. And they discovered that she could cast a lot of spells. In fact, they found out she could cast Cone of Cold. They found out that she could cast Cone of Cold when they all died to it, or most of them anyway. Silvio escaped, though, and is appealing to the dwarves for help. But for the rest of you who have taken a trip past mortality...
Ooh. Boo.
Yeah, no. You feel something wrong. You feel like you're being pulled. There's a bright sparkle of greenish-yellow energy.
Is this a spirit of death? I had not considered this to be an element, but I will make another pact with it.
I'll be honest. I was really hoping Ross wouldn't be in my personal afterlife. But...
You're all separately. You don't see each other. And there's almost a flicker of runic writing in it. You can see some of the angular bits of it, but you can't quite make it out. You feel a terrible, painful burning sensation. Like all of your skin is on fire. There's a pinion around your mind, driving spikes into your will. And then you draw breath. Your eyes sting with bitter salts, and your mouth is coated with a rime of salty, crunchy, disgusting, tasting, acidic, astringent stuff. And you are thrown. A shift is put on you, and then you are thrown into a cell. Your eyes, you still have trouble seeing because you've got all the salt in your eyes. You catch the smells of something awful, like sewage and of raw meat, and you hear the squealing of all the pigs in the world, as if they were trampling their little trotters over your brain. Yes?
I produce a glob of flame in my hand.
Yeah, so you try to say the words of the spell, and there's something in your mouth. Oh, it doesn't have a verbal component?
No, that's my Genasi ability.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
That is the look of a DM who has not taken that into consideration.
I hadn't, but that's fine. Yeah, you can feel the fire flickering in your hand. And you hear a voice. It is an ogre's voice, deep and grumbly because of their size, but also feminine. You recognize that voice. The last sound you heard before you died was a laugh. And it was this laughter. And the voice says, welcome back, heroes. Excellent. You now belong to me. Golpraknesh, clan leader of the ogres.
Oh, boy.
You will do as I say.
Paige.
I'm not good at doing what anyone says, ultimately.
Yeah, you open your mouth to speak, but then you shut it again. No words come out.
Ross tries to get up or move.
Okay. Yep. You just lay right where you are.
No, but I try to get up and move.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You stay right there on the ground. It's kind of cold and wet, buddy.
I mean, that's fine. Oh, it's cold.
Yeah.
You try all the time in this institution.
Yes. The voice says, throw water on them and clean them off and put them to work. I, Golpraknesh, you can feel the force in the voice. It rattles your bones. Tell you that you are my slaves, and you will follow the butcher. Do as he says. And then you hear her murmur to someone else. Make sure to keep the blindfolds on those two and the gags as well.
Do I have a blindfold over my head? Who's got a blindfold on?
Yes. In fact, Mira and Wildfire are both wearing blindfolds.
For reasons.
I'll go the other way. Mira.
What?
I'm trying to point to your character.
As your eyes open a bit, you can see the figure of Gulpraknesh standing there. She is as the greenish yellow smear in your eyes starts to resolve into something resembling light and dark and shapes. You see the figure of Gulpraknesh, who towers over you. She's a big ogre woman in brass plate mail. She has a huge curved sword at her hip and has a staff with a green glowing crystal in it in her other hand. She also has a crown made out of that same weird green glowing crystal. And clean them up a little bit. Just at least hose them off. I want the mage to see them. Another figure.
Get up?
Nope, you lay there. Another figure comes into view. It's a big ogre man with a tattered leather apron on. He says, "I'm the butcher, and now it's time to tend to the piggies. Come on, stand up, the lot of you."
Now I try to stand up.
You can.
I will try and not stand up.
You stand right up.
And I will try to get closer to the butcher.
All right, you can step a few steps forward.
Like emotionally? Like you're trying to let him know how you feel about him?
And closer?
You get within probably 8 feet or so, and the butcher says, "Stop." Just raise his hand. Stop.
I don't wanna.
You stop.
Damn it. Paige, you're making this really hard.
I know. So the butcher says, "Come on, piggies, piggies," and he leads you out of your quarters. I don't think I have your tokens on here. But he leads you out of your quarters, which is in this area over here. It is a dimly lit area. All of the walls, now that your vision starts to resolve a little bit, all of the walls are made out of like clustered timber and mud. And there's a couple of rivulets of water that flow from north to south through your area. It is got a series of wooden poles that are no more than a handspan apart and that go from the floor to the ceiling to hold you in here. And there's a door in the middle with a big lock on it. Past that, you can see a dimly lit area with bunches and bunches of pigs. All the pigs. Lots and lots of pigs. And in fact, even though it's dark in here and mostly lit by torches, you do notice there are 3 areas with a little bit of sunlight shining in on them.
I'm just imagining how awful this place smells.
Oh, that smell is loud. Like, it's a real bad smell.
So, Paige, so do I still have a blindfold on? Can I see things?
Nope.
How am I getting to places?
The butcher leans over and pushes Victor roughly on the shoulder. You, show those 2 around.
I will try and guide them so they bump into each other.
In fact, you don't, even though you really want to. And the butcher leads you through a long day of shoveling manure and filling up troughs and scrubbing out the food troughs and dealing with some washing and all that kind of stuff. A lot of pig maintenance. It is not even remotely something that is fun.
Paige,
This
is
is-
this the punishment for hubris?
At least I don't have to watch myself do it. I mean, I don't really know what I'm actually doing.
Yes.
It could be anything.
It could be
Yes.
anything.
In the work detail with you,
Wait, no, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
To be totally clear, when you're washing pigs, there is no question they are pigs. Having grown up in Middle America, when you smell a pig, you no
there's
longer
no
have any questions.
yeah, there's no doubt in your mind exactly what these animals are.
Yeah, delicious is what they are. In fact, I try to eat them like constantly. I'm famished.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Mira's gonna turn to her compatriots and go, What is going on here? I can't see anything."
Except you have a gag as well.
She's very upset.
Yes. The butcher doesn't seem to mind you murmuring as long as you're working. And it's not just the four of you. There's probably another 10 different bedraggled, beat down, scruffy looking humanoids in here with you.
Paige, what do I think this gag is made of?
Leather.
Ooh. Good to know. Good to know.
So there's a few dwarves in here, as well as a sampler pack of humans, and a few like orcs and hobgoblins, and one very unhappy bugbear stuck in here too.
So, Paige, you said that the keeper doesn't necessarily mind if we talk. Like, in my work duty, am I near any of my companions to have a hushed conversation?
Like, sure, but after a few minutes, the butcher will come by and shut it down. But you can get a couple of sentences out.
Okay, who am I near?
You are near Victor.
Victor, what is this place?
You know as much as me. Apparently a pig farm.
Yeah, the floor in here is like mashed timber. Like, it's not like a wood flooring. It's like somebody's literally like put a bunch of logs down until they've just been smashed into a floor. And there's a pretty serious rivulet or stream of water that comes through. It's 5 to 10 feet wide, probably 2 or 3 feet deep. And it comes in clean and it leaves real dirty.
What happened after I was knocked unconscious? I thought I had died.
Yeah, I was pretty sure we all died. I have no idea how we came to be alive and became pig farmers.
I don't see Silvio.
He may have gotten away, or he may have given them the lip and they just didn't bring it back. Hopefully he's fine.
Bring us back. Why would they bring any of us back?
I don't know. It seems my knowledge of bringing people back from
The
the
butcher
dead.
comes by and says, "Sss, quit talking to each other.
I'll keep talking.
Your mouth shuts.
Okay.
Your lips and tongue and pharynx stop moving."
I'll talk to Mira. Hey Mira, how's it going?
This is really terrible.
Yeah, I agree. This is crazy, right?
The worst vacation I ever went on. I gotta talk to my travel agent.
This
What
is
do I
field work is
hear?
like.
Oh, sorry?
I said, this is what field work is like.
What do I hear?
You hear water. There's always a constant stream of water. You
Hmm.
also hear, very briefly, off to the west in this cave this way,
Mhm.
you hear the death squeals of a couple of different pigs.
So, Paige... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
After our conversation comes to an abrupt end, I'm going to look around to see if Goose is anywhere. Because I didn't get to ask Victor what happened to Goose after I fell unconscious. So
You don't see her. And moreover, like she's been around you and so close to you for so long, you can practically feel her.
Still feel her humping up on my leg. Yeah.
I don't think humping was a thing she did, but
Oh, right, like pressing on my leg.
yes, that definitely. You can almost smell her and feel her, but there's a sense of her goneness that you know she's not here.
I don't like that.
So Mira's gonna pay. Do I get a sense of how many other creatures are around me, and especially how many of our captors are around me? But just by listening, right? Like she's just gonna focus.
Sure. So, so the butcher is in here all the time. He's usually like sitting up on this ledge with his feet hanging down.
Yeah.
Sort of watching you, occasionally throwing a rock at someone. But he spends most of the day sort of watching y'all work. Once he puts you in the pen, he doesn't. Someone will come by with food, usually another ogre, a different one. And that evening, a whole troop of ogres go stomping through the cavern from the west side over to the northeast side.
So are people ungagged to eat? What's the mechanism of that?
Yeah, anyone who wears a gag is ungagged to eat, but they're armed guards standing right there by them.
And it seems like every time we've tried to disobey their command, we've been unable to do so. Like if we want to stand, we're forced to sit. If we sit, we're forced to stand, etc., etc.
Yep.
But they keep us blindfolded as well, right?
Yep.
I don't know a whole lot about Arcana, but I'd like to know what's making us do this.
Alrighty, make me a what is making us do this check.
I will roll a similar check.
Okay.
Paige, I'm just gonna throw myself blindly against the binds that tie.
What the hell? I'll roll 2.
Sure. There's 20 on every die.
I'm really bad about this, so I only have a 6.
Sure.
I have a 21.
Okay. You spent your inspiration?
I did.
Okay, good.
I desperately need to know this thing. I do not enjoy this situation.
Sure. So, one thing that you know to be true about magic is that for any kind of standard operating procedure for bringing people back from the dead requires a free and willing soul. You are pretty sure you never got asked about this. And that is not right. That is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. It wasn't like the last time. You kind of had a choice about it.
Sure.
This time, absolutely no choice. The bitter salts that were all over your body and in your eyes and in your mouth and up your nose and in your ears and your face, you know, they were terrible. Like, just super astringent, just tasted awful. But they're similar to embalming salts.
Okay.
They're used in some types of necromantic magic.
Ooh, so Paige, the chat has spoken and has given us a floating inspiration to use.
Good.
Good.
So it's similar to embalming salts used in necromantic magic. The fact that you cannot control your body kind of feels like a dominate person, but with the dominate person, somebody's got to be right there watching you the whole time. They can't just transfer it to somebody else. So whatever kind of magic is doing this is some super bad enchantment. This is artifact level magic.
Sure.
Victor, you pick up about 2/3 of that. Pick which 2/3.
Fair enough.
Also, Wildfire, you can almost read the runic writing as you were coming back from death.
Sure.
And it's some kind of old necromantic thing.
Okay.
So yeah, this is artifact level bad news here.
Sure. That's not great.
Yeah. That is definitely not great. So the end of the first day comes, and the butcher walks by, and yells into the pen, "Lay down, sleep. Don't move till morning."
I am desperately not okay with that, since my last work detail was definitely shoveling some awful.
Yet you still do it.
You'll-
You're the worst, Paige.
I am. Do you want to roll to see who is close to who tonight when you're told to lay down?
No, just tell us. No, just tell us.
Okay. Ross is near Wildfire. Victor is near Mira.
All right.
But we were told to sleep. What does that do?
Your body takes a little while to fall asleep, so you have a few moments to talk before unconsciousness takes you.
Oh, good.
Were we told not to move, though?
We were.
Mira can't speak or...
Paige, you're muted.
Paige, you're muted.
The ogre specifically used a verb that meant, like, don't get up and walk around.
Okay. I'll try and ungag Mira then.
Yeah, no, you just can't do it.
All right. That was fun.
What if... Oh.
Yeah, Ross?
Can you move anything?
I move my lips a little bit. Have you seen any feathers?
Feathers.
Yeah, feathers.
We're in a pigsty. I've not seen feathers.
Well, keep an eye out for feathers. Just cause. No reason.
And if I find one...
Keep it. I mean, it'll look nice. It's fine. I mean, I can't see anything, so I don't know what you want from me.
Right then. Did you see where Goose went?
I think the last you saw Goose, she was laying next to Ross.
Right, but like they both were clearly dead.
I
They
think
got hit by the Conocold, then the lightning bolt.
Yes. Both
yes.
of those facts are true.
I don't know if Goose was included in the lightning bolt because she was such a
She was.
secondary consideration.
Last I saw, she was with you.
I don't like this.
No, it sucks. 0 out of 10 would not visit. I mean, that's 1 out of 10. You have to always give 1 star. I don't want to. Don't get me started.
You know, the stars might rise if you'll shut the fuck up so we can sleep.
You know what would actually be really great right now? I feel like I think I'd do a lot better right now if I was a bear.
Yeah, you probably would.
I'm gonna try to be a bear.
Yeah, you can't.
It'd be awesome to be a bear.
Except, you're definitely a bear in your heart.
No.
So while I see Mira struggling, I'll try and catch her up on what little we know. That Wildfire and Ross are alive. We're pig farming, etc. Just give her as many details as quickly as I can. In a quiet voice so I don't get yelled at by... I guess there's ornery dwarves in the distance?
There is an ornery dwarf nearby.
Ross is going to try and see if he can maneuver his body or his eyeballs in such a way. I mean, they're probably shut tight by this point, but like, who's telling us to be quiet?
Well, you twist your head and you see a short and broad dwarven woman with very dirty, clearly pig shitty, formerly nice blonde hair. She's tan, has a soldier's build, and has enough free motion where she's got her hands back cradling her head as she's trying to get some sleep before another exciting day of pig shit tomorrow.
And who are you?
Didn't I fucking just say shh? Shh.
Don't make me come over there and shush you.
Well, I'd like to see you try there, boyo.
I definitely try that. I am so in the mood to fight something right now.
Fair.
No.
Well, it's even better when you're all frustrated. But you all must be new. I'm Bilwin. I've been here only a couple more days than you have. And that's about what I know.
Did they capture you at the battle?
Oh, aye. But don't worry, my mom's going to come and rescue us before not too long. We just got to make it through.
Did you die too?
Oh, no, I didn't die. No, I made sure my group got away while I stood on foot, and then at that point, when they were going to come over and crush me, I just said, "Oh, I surrender."
So, wait a minute. You're not under any sort of magical restraints, then?
Oh, I'm certainly under that. Do you think I'd be over here scooping pig shit if I weren't?
I don't know you.
Well, you already know my name. What's your name?
My
It's always
name.
nice to know a big brown lizard folk.
I try to look down at my scales for the first time, just.
My name is Ross of the Tiger Clan, and these ogres will pay for what they've done.
We're in Warhorror.
This is wildfire.
Yep.
Wait, so y'all died?
Yeah, it was real weird.
Huh. That does sound weird. I didn't think they could just bring people back like that all willy-nilly. That seems awful powerful.
You didn't happen to see how they did it, did you?
Yeah, it's a fixing from an artifact.
Oh, aye, an artifact makes sense. No, I didn't see it. I've been here in pig shit land after they interrogated me for a couple hours before deciding they didn't want nothing from me. That they were going to go about destroying the queendom in their own way.
Yeah, she's pretty mean.
Oh, aye, that they are. But don't worry, we fought big ogre magi before. Normally they got 2 heads. I'm guessing this girl practically only has 1 because she's still building up her power or something. We'll squash that before it gets too late.
I mean, I think right now we're a little past that, just a little bit. So this is a smidge past that.
Oh, like I said, don't worry. My mum will come and get me here in a couple days, and I'll make sure you'll get up too.
And how often do you doors lead conquests into the heart of the ogre's power?
Oh, about every other summer. I mean, how do you think we get 40 heads?
So, you're saying the next conquest will be coming soon?
Yeah, aye. I mean, they're not gonna let one of the princesses be caught up in a ogre den for long.
Wait a minute. Who did you say your mother was?
Oh, we didn't agree on much, but Brangie and Boulder Tam, she's my mum.
He kind of recognizes that name, I guess.
Wildfire. Why do I recognize that name?
Who said Randian?
You're muted.
I love that we're just straight up method acting with the blindfolds and the stuff on our mouths. Like, this is just priceless.
She's a queen of doors, obviously.
I mean, one of them.
Isn't
That's
that
good.
who we came to meet with?
Oh, that's good.
Quite missed your appointment if you ended up here instead of, in the hall.
Also dead.
Oh, right, that'll do it. Anyways, like I said, I'll give it a 10-day at most before they come in and, bail us all out. But if we get out on our own, it's much more impressive. Better stories.
At that point, sleep finally overtakes all of you. And you have weird dreams. They tend to harken back to that horrible greenish yellow thing you experienced right before you woke up. It haunts you and keeps you from getting good sleep.
Can I make out anything additional about it?
Sure, maybe. Give me an Arcana roll. Damn, Joe. All right, sure. So, you can see how this, so the weave of magic in Faerun is like a macrame blanket or knitted blanket. It's all these ley lines and strands of power that are woven together in a certain pattern. And by pulling and tugging on those strings, you can alter the weave, and that's how magic works in Faerun. You remember back in the 80s when they do like a plane showing gravity, and then, where a planet is a hello kitty. Did you think I was talking about the void? Did you think I was talking about the void? Where they show the gravity plane of the universe, and like a planet would be like a little divot in that gravity plane. Picture, instead of that being the gravity plane, that being the weave. There's something nearby that is pulling on the weave like a black hole.
Okay.
And then there's something else nearby pulling on it pretty hard.
I'm sorry, I just realized that with the blindfold on, Joe did not see the critical roll he rolled on that skill check, so...
Yeah, no idea.
Yes. So there's a whatever is doing this is nearby, and as a matter of fact, all of a sudden the menace of the magic starts to fade a little bit, and you feel a familiar presence, and a sharp nip on your ear. It's Hewitt.
Huh. Am I awake or sleeping?
Hard
Do I not
to
know?
tell. Hard to tell.
Hewitt, give me a feather.
Gotta cast a spell.
I got a goal here, people.
Is it kosher to use your familiar as a component of your spell?
Dang right.
I'm honestly surprised that Joe didn't pick up bats now that he has Fireball, so that he can just harvest his own familiar
Guano. Yeah.
Okay. So you wake up the next morning for another lovely day of pig farming. Except, right next to your head, you find a brown and white feather that was clearly one of Hewitt's.
Huh.
And you also feel like...
Wildfire! There's a feather next to your eyes.
Oh, good. We're fine then, because Hewitt's here. We're really fine. All good.
Wildfire, Hewitt isn't here.
No, but she was here. It's fine. She's around.
Oh.
I'm sure she's preparing our escape even now.
Okay.
So, Coda, as Ross is saying this to Wildfire, you know that Goose had been dealing with this thing where, like, she had been shedding something fierce. Like, a whole scruff of scales had just peeled.
Yeah.
And she was leaving little bits of peely skin, like, all over everywhere.
She molts. It's
what they do.
natural. It's natural, Paige.
But you notice molted scales, like, littering the mud near you.
Okay, cool. I am now viscerally trying to struggle.
Goose!
and looking around for her. Am I able to move yet?
Nope. So after a while, the butcher comes by. You get a few minutes of freedom to take care of yourselves and eat a little food. The food is clearly last night's leftovers, or maybe the day before's.
Make sure to grab that feather page.
Sure. Last night's leftovers, or even maybe the night before's. There's some bread, but it's like all the soft part in the middle has been eaten. It's just crusts, and several you know how you have a steak and you cut out the gristly bits and shove them off to the side of your plate? That's what you're getting.
Oh, God, it's the best part, Paige. Thank you. Ross, devours them. Amazing.
Like, are you going to eat that?
Do we have a chance to speak during that time?
Victor, guys, Goose and Hewitt were here in the night. I didn't see them, but both the feather in their scales. She's all right, and she's here.
Wait, you're saying you got a goose? A goose be awful good right about now. I'm not gonna lie.
Goose she is my pet. Well, companion. And she is going to help me rip the throats from these ogres.
Well, you got an awful vicious pet there then. I mean, you mess with the honk, you get the chunk.
Yes.
Ross clearly has no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds about right, so he wholeheartedly is in.
So Wildfire kind of reaches out towards Ross, touching someone. I don't know. Fine.
That's a pig.
Ross, I don't know that Goose made it.
There's no pigs in the area with you.
No.
Probably touching Victor because he happens to be next to him. It's fine. He's not concerned. It's fine. Ross, I don't think Goose made it.
Then how do you explain the scales? She was here in molting, but I don't see a trail.
And I look around to see if she's left any sort of trail of molt other than just around me.
Nope, and not a single footprint.
Well, that's all the hope I need.
This is all muddy ground. Like if she had walked across it, there'd be big old footprints.
That's all the hope I need. Okay, I'm gonna cling to that string like it is the best lifeline I've got.
Joe, you remember Hewitt nipping you on the ear last night, and your ear is actually sore from where you got nipped. And the mental commands are not as hard on you today.
Huh.
Like, even after the butcher comes in and says something, it's kind of a moment before you step in. You're realizing you're getting some will back because of it.
So, the first time that happens, I'm kind of slow to respond. But every time after that, I jump as quickly as everyone else.
Okay. Sounds
I'm making an intentional decision to hop to.
Okay. So there is some furor among the ogres, and as you're out working with the pigs, you notice that, the spots with the light in them. Mm-hmm. When you look up and to see what's going on there, you can see a crosswork of railroad ties that have spots in them, maybe a foot across or so. And there's the sounds of a bunch of ogres up there talking and eating. You hear furniture being moved around, and every once in a while food falls from those spots, particularly these two. Not so much this one over here. And the pigs know it, and it's a big deal. They always go running when they think stuff will be falling from there, because that's fresh food. Let's see. The other thing you notice is today, unlike yesterday, they bring in a quartet of guards for the area to watch you, I guess, and the pigs. And they are zombies. They are ogre zombies.
Ooh, nasty. Am I still blindfolded today?
Yeah.
They should really get a better night's sleep.
Coda, you can have a point of inspiration for that. And upstairs, through the holes in the in your ceiling, their floor, you hear a huge shriek of anger, and it's not but a moment till the butcher is coming down and pulls the four of you out and marches you through to a different area of the keep.
Oh boy.
Do I try to look back. Do I see the princess as we are being marched away?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's so bright here now. Let me go back to my darkness.
All right, you are marched up this ramp and into an abattoir. There are 3 tables with the remains of various pigs and sheep on them that have been slaughtered and are in the process of being butchered for meat. There's a big pile of fat scraps in one corner, and just next to it you see an odiug. It's got a body about the size of a VW bug, and then 3 large arms coming off of the top of it. And every once in a while, it goes and grabs something out of the fat pile. But the butcher
is an odiug like a ogre?
No.
It's no. Hang on, let me go get you a picture of it.
I'm enjoying not seeing the odiug, to be honest. It's a great amount of pleasure to me.
It's like the trash monster from Star Wars.
Yes.
Okay.
But they're kind of a globular body with 3 irregular legs, a huge mouth, and 3 kind of barbed arms on the top.
It smells terrible in here.
It does.
It does not look much better.
Paige, is the odiug being held captive here, or is it chilling like a boss?
I mean, it looks pretty chill.
Okay. So I can't, there's no hope of freeing it in hopes that it causes a rampage of some sort, huh?
It's not on your side.
It just wanted a friend and lots of fresh meat.
Yes.
Find all that here. It's great.
Right?
In fact, you notice that the butcher throws it a steak sized glob of meat as you go by. Here's what an odiug looks like. I believe this is the monster manual odiug.
It's so tiny. It got way bigger.
Yes. So like that. They're pretty grotesque, and they have voracious appetites. A lot of big cities keep them in the sewers to eat fatbergs.
How is...
Gross.
What?
Yeah.
There is no way that is OSHA approved.
No. OSHA would not approve of the sewer systems in the Forgotten Realms. I can tell you that right now.
Define OSHA, really.
Yeah, right?
Fair enough.
If we were playing Living Greyhawk, it could be the O-Earth safety. All right, so you are led up the stair, or up a ladder, and the butcher keeps giving you very careful instructions so that you don't mess around. Joe,
I never climbed a ladder right for you before.
This is really terrible.
And the rungs are actually pretty far apart. They're ogre-sized. So
that's... it feels pretty likely that I'm going to fall through at least once then.
Yeah, I mean, there are some frightening moments. All right, hang on. Why reveal areas? There we go. So you are led into a room with a whole lot of meat hooks on it and a huge variety of meats. And then into a kitchen. And then from there into a big room. In the big room, you see the 2 skylights to the Palace of Pigs below. And a whole tribe of ogres, and Gulprashnecht is sitting in this chair. And she looks at you furiously and says, "Are you the ones who did it? Are you the ones that killed my grandson? Answer me.
Who's your grandson?
She gestures, and a minor illusion of a ogre comes up. I mean, he looks like an ogre. He's got a bunch of chains. Maybe he was one of those chain guys.
Is she showing us something?
Do I recognize the fact that she cast a minor illusion?
Yeah.
I know.
I lean forward and say, I don't think so.
Ah.
Does he look familiar at all, Paige?
Make me do I recognize that ogre from the other ogre in the heat of battle? It was a very long day.
I don't recognize that ogre at all. I've
Yeah.
never seen it in my life.
She actually comes forward and rips Wildfire's mask off, or blindfold off, and rips Mira's blindfold off. Him!
There you go. I'm going to give you a perception check, I guess.
I buy it.
Oh!
Yeah! He looked like kind of one of those chain guys.
Oh, good.
Yes, we killed him. And just like I will kill each and every one of you.
She turns around and looks at you. Silence. Your jaws just snap together. And she advances on Ross with clear intent to do him damage.
Oh, bring it.
And then, yes, because you're ready for this fight.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
I have a bad history of turning to my allies and telling them to punch me and then getting crit, so
yeah, that's
bring
true.
it.
So when out of the shadows of the kitchen behind you steps another person. This is a human man, but his skin is dead gray. And I do mean dead gray.
I attempt to say something and obviously don't.
Yeah, no, that means
But if I
literally
could have,
nothing to me.
it would have been, well, fuck.
And he glides forward and says, Gulpraknesh, please, my lady. I believe these are foresters, judging by the gear you recovered. And she whirls on him and says, What? What do you care? They're from Aglaron, yes. And then she says, Oh, no. He says, Yes. I think we should send them back to Thay when the delegation arrives. Given the equipment they were carrying and the fact that they had Forster officer effects, I think the people back home would be very interested in deprogramming and education.
I try and kill him with my mind.
You know?
All
I
right.
appreciate that, Ron. I do. You summon up your inner River Tam as hard as you can, but it doesn't seem to work. The man glides forward a bit more to look at you and just kind of casually puts his hand on Gulpraknish's forearm as he walks by, and she steps back and still grimaces at you. What, Nazara? They're mine. I caught them. He says, yes, of course, and surely it wouldn't be a large imposition on you, considering all we've done for you, to hand them off to the next delegation. You can hear her teeth gritting, and she glares at you and says, well, fine. I suppose whatever you're going to do to them is worse than what I'm going to do to them. They're yours, Nazara. Ugh. Take them back and have them work on the pigs till then.
Paige, I cast magic weapon with my eyeballs and just stab her with all the magic weapon.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Noted. The butcher takes a look at you and says, come on, you lot. Follow me.
So while we're kind of standing there getting dressed down, I kind of look around for the strange gravity well, because I kind of suspect it might be in this room.
Actually, no. You think it's downstairs.
Oh, interesting. That's weird.
Mm-hmm. You think it's downstairs and to the east of you.
Okay.
When we get these commands, does their power over us wane with time, or do they just stay strong?
The power of the command fades after a while, but usually you've got a new command to overwrite it before that happens.
Okay.
Every so often, Mira is going to just, test the walls a little bit by going, I want to be a bear! A bear! Just like every maybe hour or so, this is just her pinging the walls.
Noted. You have found them to be pretty solid. However, while you're there looking at Gulpraknesh, if somebody would like to make me an Arcana check about what the heck is wrong with y'all, then you may certainly do so. You have a bit of new information.
I will murmur and work with Wildfire on this one.
Okay.
It's going to take a lot more than an Arcana check to figure out what's wrong with all these people.
Oh, I don't know why I rolled. You roll with...
All right, Joe. Wildfire, with his keenly attuned senses, you can see the threads of the weave around you and how they twist and pull. And you realize that this Nazara person is cloaked in all kind of magic.
Sure.
By the way, Joe, I'm going to need you to save some of these critical rolls for rolls that actually matter.
They matter a lot to me.
Like, information can save you far better than a fight can.
Truth.
Like, if you'd had
If
some
you
information
had rolled
that
like
might
this
you
last week, Joe, we wouldn't be in this
This is
predicament.
the number
If
of
you'd
D20s.
had
That's
some-
not true. This is the number of D20s I rolled in that combat because I rolled the Scorching Ray one time.
And how many of them were crits, Joe?
That's not
not-
true. You rolled D4s for the magic missile.
Well, sure, but like that's not. He's complaining about my D20 rolling.
Fair enough. Coda, I also want to point out, if you had made a D20 roll to understand that fight might have been too big for y'all, we could have avoided all of this.
I'm sorry, those words
Let's
sounded
keep
like
moving forward.
All right. So, Joe, you realize that the green crystals in the staff, as well as the green glowing headband that she is wearing, seem to be some sort of connected magic.
Okay.
And you feel like there are some strong enchantments on them as well.
Okay. Do they feel the same as Nazara's magic?
No.
Okay.
No. Also, Nazara's undead. Like,
Well, sure.
yeah. Also, Nazara is dressed in the accoutrement and tattoos of a Red Wizard of Thay.
Sure. Clearly a lich and a Red Wizard of Thay. I got it.
I just want to make sure that detail hadn't...
Yep,
gone
I'm on
over.
board. I'm on board.
Got it. All right. So you are marched downstairs for... You are marched downstairs for another day of pig farming, which goes much the same. That night, Hewitt appears for Wildfire and is like, "Who?"
I mean, it's not. There's not time yet. I gotta get. I don't know enough yet.
Who?
Do you know where the crystal, the orb that's doing this is? The orb? I don't know. Thing. That way. East? What's that way?
Who?
Paige,
And then Hewitt flies off.
do any of the other of us see Hewitt?
Yeah. Whoever's awake, if Wildfire makes enough noise to cause you to awaken a bit, then yes.
Who was by Wildfire that evening?
I don't know. Let me check. Apparently you are.
Ooh. Hewitt, find Goose. She can help you with this.
Hewitt turns Hewitt's an owl, so his body is facing this way, and his head turns all the way around to look at you like owls.
Like you do.
And Hewitt says, "Who?
No, she can.
Who?
Good, we're in agreement then.
Sorry!
Who? Hewitt flies off. And you go back to sleep. You have more of that strange, weird, greenish, yellowish stuff in your dreams that keeps you from sleeping really well. And It's painful. Like I said, it hurts your brain. It causes massive headaches. And at some point in time, when you're perhaps trying to stay awake, Koda, when Ras is trying to stay awake, and the painful pressure of this enchantment is forcing you to go to sleep, you feel Goose curled up around your head and slobbering on you.
I mean, am I too out of it to speak to her?
No, you can. It's woken you up enough.
Goose.
But you can touch her and you can smell her.
Help Hewitt find whatever it is that is controlling us. We need to destroy it, or at least gain control of it, and then we will have a revenge.
She goes and nudges your hand, and then comes and looks you in the eyes, like really meaningfully, like like nudges you in the hand and then looks you in the eye, like real meaningfully. She's clearly trying to communicate something.
Excellent.
What is it? Is it
Nudges
meat?
your hand.
I will get
Nudges
you
your
meat.
hand.
I reach up to give her meat, obviously.
She's not interested in it. She still tries to nudge your under your hand.
I
And then
look at my
you
hand.
really-
What is going on with my claws?
Pet?
What is it?
Pet?
I pet her.
She doesn't want head. She like nudges your hand off, but then nudges her head under your hand again and looks at you real meaningfully.
After my dream with Goose, the next morning at the break, I'm going to inform the group that I felt Goose the previous night.
She was here. I could feel her slobbering on me. It burned. But in the good way. But she wanted something.
Good for you, Ross. Whatever gets you through the trying times.
What does she want?
I don't know. I tried giving her something. Meat out of my pocket. Wait a minute. I could move. Maybe she was telling me to get up or something. Are any of you able to move in the night?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, are you saying that you keep meat in your pockets? Also, what pockets? It looks like you're wearing, a buckskin loincloth.
I have a bag of dried meats for Goose. She's upstairs. I give her them as we train. The pig is her favorite.
Righto. Alright. Super on.
So, Mira is going to follow Victor's example and attempt to shove things in her ears as well.
Yeah.
All
After
right,
my limited
causes-
success, I'll
yeah.
share it with everybody.
It causes the power of the commands, particularly from the butcher, to fade. But if Gulpraknish wanders by and gives you a command, it's right back to it. Whatever her power is, it seems like it's stronger than the butcher's.
But you did say that maybe sometimes you could get something through.
Mhm.
Like, being a bear.
One night you managed to become a bear.
And why Mira should probably be tearing the shit out of things as a bear.
When you become a bear that is also forced to lay on the ground and not get up.
That is my next question.
Oh, sleepy bear.
I mean, but you would be so warm and clean and comfy. Like, I would try and inch over and totally get a good night's sleep on the bear hair.
Yeah. So, same here.
But maybe as a bear, I'm no longer gagged?
Sure, the
Can I-
gag is not anywhere near your metro regional facial area at that point.
Oh, thank God.
You say, in bear form.
Ugh, but I still can't move as a bear.
Yeah, so the first time it works, you can't move. The second time, you can kind of move.
Do any of the guards see this?
I can also pick an ape, which is probably a less dramatically different shift. The guards may not, in fact, know this if they're the zombie guards.
Yeah, the zombie guards don't seem to care.
Okay.
That's good.
So Goose comes to Ross every single night, clearly trying to tell you something with her eyeballs and nudging her head up under your hand. She does not want pets.
I try anything and everything. Like, I reach out for her. I try getting up and, like, going to her.
Nope, she's right there, like her with her face, like literally at yours.
Like, I stare deeply into her eyes.
She's like, "Oh, he's getting it. He's getting it." God damn it.
Paige?
Yes.
Can Mira roll over for one of these?
Sure. You don't see anything, but clearly Ross is engaged with something.
I'm struggling.
What's going on, Ross?
It's Goose. You can see her. She's right here.
No. Not even a little bit.
What are you talking about, Mira? She's practically on top of me. I've tried that already, Goose. Stop it.
So,
Nudge.
I'm going to take this moment because clearly the 5-minute break didn't help us. Chat, what is Goose trying to tell Ras? Like, help us out here if you have any idea.
So,
Like,
Mira will say,
like,
what is
reaching
Goose
out to
trying
her,
to do?
touching her.
She is intently staring at me.
And
I've tried everything.
she's just staring at you.
Yes, it's infuriating in part, but...
Is she doing anything else that you're not telling me?
I mean, I'm touching her with my claws, and she doesn't want that. I've tried feeding her. I've tried giving her commands. But all she does is stare.
Am I wrong on any of that, Paige?
Yeah, you are. She's
Like,
been
touching your
headbutting.
thing?
No, I've been touching her.
She's been headbutting your hand, right? Like,
What
this
is going
like
on?
literally
with my
what
hand?
Paige has said, right? With her mouth.
Look at my hand. Oh my god.
So you need to. Are you going to tell me this, or are you just going to say that she's staring at you?
I told you I've touched her. Like, she is
All right.
interested in my hand.
I will. She's what?
She's interested in my hand.
Okay. Mira has some experience with beasts. She's going to use her animal handling skill to maybe try and perceive what Goose is interested in here.
Animal handling is the main skill we use when dealing with Ross.
Right?
You can have a point of inspiration. I don't care what the rules are. You can now stack 2 because I think you already have one, but that's great. You're holding 2. If anybody's got a problem with it, call the D&D police.
Ooh.
Because they're going to come to my house and I'm going to pelt them with D20s. I forgot what I was saying.
See, you don't even know what Goose wants.
No,
This is impossible.
Oh, yeah. Animal handling is not perhaps the best check, though you can make it. I would prefer nature or arcana.
Nature. I know nature, and nature is the same check. So I'm actually trained in nature.
If Roth ever bothers to ask me, I roll an arcana, but not until then.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking to y'all about this. All you had to say was, "Oh, poor Ross."
Well, actually, I couldn't talk or see things just up until now. So
I'm talking as hard as I can.
So, Mira, you're very aware of the bond between a person and a beast companion or a familiar. You're pretty sure that Goose is D-E-D dead, and that if Ross was to exert his spiritual powers, he could probably just summon her right back up.
That never would have crossed Ross's mind.
Ross, I've got some bad news and some good news. One, Goose is probably no longer with us.
I'm just sitting here for days.
Yeah, Mira will actually take Wildfire awake so he can hear this.
Dare say that, Mira.
It's just the fact. But the good news is that you can bring Goose back just by willing it. And you should at some point.
Okay, and like without even thinking about it, Ross is now determined to prove Mira wrong.
Oh,
he cannot accept it. So with all of his will, he is going to try and show Mira that Goose is right over him.
Are you going to expend a spell slot to do so?
Yes.
Excellent. With that, Goose pops into existence.
Oh, God!
With an exuberant, trilling, yerping squeal of happiness. And totally, does the happy paw dance, basically all over your belly.
Take it back, Mira.
Mira smacks herself on the forehead and looks for the gag again to maybe try to get back in her mouth.
You woke me up for this?
I did, and I regret it.
I go back to sleep.
Goose.
It's awful.
Try to find out what is keeping us here.
I mean, so Paige, now that there is a summoned hound in Drake Guard in the room with us, how does that change our situation?
Well, it's the middle of the night, and nobody's looked in on you to find Goose. You think that perhaps having Goose appear to your captors in the morning is going to cause all sorts of excitement.
Right,
Country.
she's here now, so I don't have much option in that.
Mira's gonna nudge Wildfire again.
My actual question, though, is do the zombie guards react at all to this? Cool. Do the other captives respond to this at all?
So what? We're just summing up on our allies and steeds now. Is that gonna help us get? I mean, I can get mine too if this is gonna be a big thing. But
yeah,
it hasn't gotten. I don't have the information yet. It's too early. What are you doing?
Well, didn't you say there was some sort of magical thing nearby?
I reach up and pull the thing out of my mouth because I'm tired of them not hearing understand what I'm saying.
You could do this whole time.
Wait a minute.
Guys, I don't know where the artifact is yet. Everybody chill. Send her away, for God's sakes, Ross.
Goose, go hide.
She pops out of existence with a clap.
Thank you. Good lord. I will let you all know when I figured out where the artifact is.
Everybody looks around for
How
Goose,
are you gonna...
She has gotten much better at that.
How are you going to find the artifact?
Much like everything I do, Hewitt is on it. I put the leather strap back into my mouth and go to sleep.
Really?
At some point in time before dawn, there is a furor. You hear yells and shouts and a thunk of something hitting stone very hard. You can just barely make out some dwarven battle cries in it.
You don't look at the princess.
Okay, so how close are they here?
Not close to you.
Okay, so where do I hear it from then? I'm trying to understand. Because now might be the moment. I'm trying to understand.
Do we hear it down through the ceiling?
Yeah, you hear it down through the ceiling, and it's above you and to the east of you. Pretty far to the east.
We hear it distantly then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, not quite the time.
But the
we only get one chance at this, so...
Dwarven warhorns are hard to mistake.
Yep.
It sounds like your reinforcements have arrived.
They're getting closer all the time.
You know, if Mira has some time on her hands, she's gonna start working on maybe summoning a familiar, because everyone else's familiar seems to be here anyways. But they don't seem to be doing anything useful.
Ooh, I can't wait to see who Victor summons up.
Doesn't the spell require 25 GP worth of incense?
Not for druids.
Oh!
We get that shit for free 99.
I love it. I love it. A, point of inspiration. B, what does your familiar look like?
Well, I think a bat would probably be a good fit. I mean, she's gonna, she's all about matching familiars to where she is.
Yeah, and this is kind of a large, cool, cavernous structure with a lot of moisture in it, so there's a few bats that flutter around here all the time.
Bat it is.
All right. Belwyn, you actually recognize some of the dwarven warhorns. You think it is the 7th Legion Irregulars, which are essentially special forces.
Oh, all right. Well, when they get a little bit closer, it sounds like a perfect time for us to stage a prison break. It's like we can still hear people upstairs, right? Like, it hasn't cleared out the place with people going off to fight them.
There's definitely still ogres upstairs, and the hullabaloo only lasts a couple of hours, and then the ogres are back upstairs having breakfast.
Oh.
So, Paige, what kind of progress has Hewitt made in determining what's going on over to the east?
Sorry, I wanted to ask something during the time that occurs, but I can wait until after just on.
So Hewitt, over the course of a couple of nights, transmits various images to your brain.
Ooh.
I like images. I'm a big fan of images.
Yep. She says there's a passage to the east that ends in a big wooden door. And that she has seen the ogre chieftain go into that door with dead bodies and come out of that door leading live bodies and sometimes zombies.
Okay. How far is that from our cage?
Well, I mean, the measuring tool should be measuring.
Let's check this out.
Funk show, brother.
Or it's this window. Okay, go ahead. I'll measure.
While Joe's measuring, Ben, did you have a question?
I did. When we hear the fighting, Belwyn will turn to Mira, who is clearly the most reasonable among them.
Low bar.
Yeah, I
Hi.
happen to be able to send that Bayers out to where the fighting is and let them know that we're here, right?
I think I can. I think it's thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Just give a
No,
little bit of
no,
help.
I definitely can't.
Oh, you can. What
Yeah.
can you?
Because it can't really deliver a message, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. I've only recently gained the ability to do this.
The familiar cannot speak, of course, but you could, if you had paper and a pencil, you could give it a note to carry.
Which we definitely don't have.
Let me get out my writing desk and some ink bottle.
What if we I see you turn into a bear. You're one of them druid folk, eh?
Yeah, but I can't move any more than the rest of you can.
What about that? Don't you folk have that their animal messenger? Can you do something like that?
I would need to probably take a nice nap for that to happen.
Mira, what spells do you have prepared?
I mean, mostly just I didn't actually swap anything out here. Animal friendship. It's not helping us here. I mean, I could if the dwarves are in fact beasts, which they are not. I could speak with them.
Oh, that's not good.
You can win the pigs over one by one.
Hooray!
That's
Our
how
DM
This
is
is
So
exciting.
ogres
All kinds of
walk in
people
here.
here getting bounced around OBS.
What?
And an army of pigs descends upon them. Pigs are quite dangerous.
I do not, in fact, have Animal Messenger memorized because, well, first of all, I didn't think I was going to be able to cast anything. Nor did I know that we have people to deliver messages to right now.
So Paige, I'll kind of interview all of my companions, and what I'm really looking for is who's the least affected beyond me by the magic's ongoing. Ross.
So Ross is starting
Ross.
to
Oh.
because of your interaction with Goose, you are really starting to connect with your ability to have agency. Victor, Mira, and Belwyn, if they choose to put the unspeakable material on the floor in their ears,
That's what I've been doing.
then
That's how it was a bear.
then they're finding that they can start to wear off the commands a bit.
Come on, Wildfire. Let's jump up and high five in a buddy cop movie.
Can Ross get up yet during the evening? Can he stand up during the evening?
Not easily, and not all the time, and not without several tries over many minutes, but sure.
Okay. So kind of the next time we all have a break, I'll get everyone together and say, when we're probably while breakfast, so that the guards don't notice I take off my gag for a minute. I'll say, I am less affected over the last several days than I was previously. I happen to have the ability currently to magically transmit me and someone else one time to another location within about 400-ish feet.
Oh, you get their Dimdorai.
Hewitt has determined where the artifact is. And I can take myself and someone else there. Hopefully we can disable it or destroy it in some way.
Yeah.
So I figure when the next time a disturbance happens, Ross, I can bring you can bring out Goose, and we can, I don't know, play it by ear from there.
If it is ripping something to shreds, I am more than ready.
It might be, it'll hard to be sure, but certainly having another person there will materially aid, even if it's just to watch my back while I figure out how to stop or cease the artifact's effect for some period of time so we can get out of here.
Or you could take me.
While you are having your lunch or breakfast, this is after the dwarven attack. A whole troop of ogres comes through the main cavern of pigs, and they're carrying a bunch of their dead. And they walk through and they disappear over in this area.
Sure.
And Hewitt, with her with a daring feat of wing work and a little stealth and a little luck, gets into the room where it happens.
I will attempt to watch through her eyes to see what happens in there. I figure how bad the situation really is.
Okay. So these are fine chambers, completely different than what you see elsewhere in the den of pigs and whatever. There is actually a fine copper bathing tub over on one side, as well as a real bed sized for ogres. But in the corner over here, you see a large black iron stew pot. And when I say large, it's 5 feet across.
Okay.
And it's about 4 feet tall, probably. It's big. And it is made, like I said, out of black iron. And around the lip of the pot, it has a series of runes in it that are in adamantine. The interior like Hewitt has problems looking at it. Like it's hard. She has like anytime she wants to look at it, her gaze just slides away. But the interior is full of a greenish yellow light, and you immediately recognize this as the same light that that had been the transit for you coming back to life.
Okay.
Through Hewitt's eyes, you see Gulpraknesh go to the stew pot and put her hand on it, and it gets even bigger. And she says a word and puts one of the clearly dead ogres, like the head is just hanging on by like a few strands of muscle tissue. Puts the clearly dead ogre into it, says another word, and it fills up with salt and this greenish light. And within a moment, the ogre is spluttering and trying to wipe the stuff out of its eyes, and stands up back out of the pot. You can see that she's having to concentrate quite a bit as it works, and fetters of greenish yellow energy pulse from her crown, her staff, and the pot, and kind of connect each other.
Okay. Okay. The pot remains there when she leaves. I imagine Hewitt would stay in there when she leaves.
Yeah. Hewitt watches, probably a dozen ogres get brought back to life. And afterwards, she looks tired and sits down on the bed. Hewitt has to like hide under a chest of drawers back in the back so that she's not seen. And she kind of slumps tiredly down on the bed and just has to rest for 10 minutes before getting up, getting a glass of water, shaking herself off, and then heading out.
Okay.
So, are we doing this? Not.
What, now? No, we're gonna wait for the right opportunity, Roz.
What's it even going on in there?
She's using an artifact to bring her ogres back from the dead. It's a pretty powerful artifact. It's somehow attuned to her staff and her crown. So, Paige, do I have any idea? Like, this is clearly like a trio of artifacts that are somehow related. Have I ever read about any of these?
Make me a have I ever heard of these roll.
Do we still have that floating inspiration?
We do.
I'm using it.
Hey, look, it's another crit.
I know all the things!
Fire.
This is incredible.
It is. The only thing I've ever seen like this is, Ron, the time that you blew the shit up out of that mech by rolling crits like 4 turns in a row, and the DM's like, fuck it, I don't care, it's dead.
3 for 3, Joe. Is there anything that Wildfire doesn't know?
I wish I had $1 million.
I guess dying and bring back, knock a couple of neurons together or something.
That's true. I should have used my wish on something else today, is all I'm saying. I mean...
Ooh, you know what it is, though? I think, Victor, you're right. I think seeing the process firsthand has really done wonders for his insight.
So, yes. So you've always kind of had an interest in artifacts, right? Every mage has their own, subject areas that they're interested in, but artifacts has always been something that I gather Wildfire had
oh yeah, totally
gotten interested in. So this is an artifact set called I'll have to get the names. Hang on a second.
Sure. Talk amongst yourselves.
It's the Cauldron, the Crown, and the Staff of Anuin.
Okay.
Spelled as such. Lam, A-N-U-I-N. And they are ancient, powerful, evil artifacts. Clearly designed to bring people back from the dead. A great starter kit for any mage's army. The problem with the Crown of Anuin is that so you have to attune to the cauldron, you have to attune to the staff, but the crown is actually attuned to someone else, and you owe fealty to whoever the crown is attuned to.
Okay.
So they're a good second in command set of things. And they have long been sought after. They have been found a couple of different times, stolen from the people that found them, broken apart, redistributed, moved around, and it's a hell of a thing to see them all in the same place. The last you knew, that cauldron was 100% in Thay. It was virtually certain. The crown and the staff, who knew, but the cauldron was absolutely in Thay.
Okay.
So, we should, go there and smash this thing, shouldn't we?
Also, it is rumored, but you have to do some tests and research to find out for sure, i.e. legend lore or the like. But it is rumored that the only thing that can destroy it is for a person pure of heart to immerse themselves in the cauldron.
What will that do to that person?
Oh, it is certainly their end. But the bargain with the gods that Anuin had made in order to create these artifacts required them to have a weakness, and that was the weakness that Anuin sort of tricked them into.
I look at my companions after having thought after this entire scene, and I say, which of you is the purest? Just like...
Why? That's really personal, Wildfire.
What do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by pure? Like, this is an awful leading question.
I am 100% purebred lizard folk.
I feel like it's you, Ras, but let's put a pin in that. The evil artifact that is controlling all of us, at least a piece of it, can be destroyed by someone who is pure, bathing in the cauldron.
Haven't we already all bathed in it? Isn't that how we're in a current condition?
No, we were granted essence from it. This is different. This is taking on, in essence, the energies into yourself. Well, I guarantee that whoever does this will be dead at the end of it.
I think we can all agree with a maxim in chat that it's Goose. I mean, the sheer love that she's got is just overflowing.
Sadly, she doesn't have enough. What's her int?
Say it.
I don't know. Her int is higher than Ross's, so.
That's not where I thought you were going to go with that.
Yeah, I mean, like she could. I'm not suggesting.
Hey, her int is tied with mine.
I assume you're a 7. I assume you just took that down that 1 point just for clarity's sake.
Sounds legit to me.
Okay, so I don't know if this is the
delicious.
I don't know if we should leave here without destroying the artifact.
I mean, could Mira find a particularly pure of heart pig?
It has to be a sentient creature who is doing this intentionally and knows that they're doing it. You can't trick someone into doing it.
All right,
yeah, I mean,
we cast Awaken on one of the pigs, and then we spend time teaching it ethics, and then we go in there.
I don't know if we have that kind of time.
All right, Eleanor.
Well, how do we know who's pure enough to destroy this thing, anyways?
I mean, they jump in there, and I think almost by definition, anyone that would be willing to give their life for the greater good might just kind of qualify by default.
That's fair.
That would piss Mom off an awful lot.
Yeah, sure.
But you said that the ogress increased the size of the cauldron, or maybe we could just like make it pocket size and just bring it with us.
We can certainly try. I'm not sure if the effect the cauldron resizing was related to the fact that she has dominance over it with her staff and her crown or not.
That's a good point.
So you're saying, though, that anyone could just wander in there and get in that tub and likely destroy it?
Not anyone. Like, it needs to be someone who's pure of heart and of spirit.
Sure. Someone who's willing to do this sort of thing.
Someone who's willing, some kind of hero of some description. I'm not
and
sure.
It's over there, in that room.
Wait
there
a
are
minute.
points.
Princess, didn't you say that you made a valiant stand so that your company could get away?
It's also perfectly okay to grab artifacts and send them to people who will store them away where bad people can't get them.
Yeah. I'm worried about us being able to transport it out of here, but that's a different concern.
I mean, the crown and the staff are pretty much required for use, and they're a lot more portable.
Yeah, we'll have to see if... it really kind of depends on what the situation we end up in, about how likely it is that we can pull that stealing off as opposed to just destroying it.
Okay.
Depends on the situation that presents itself. Well, at the very least, we should recover it. Paige, if we recover it, if she didn't have all three, do I think her level of dominance over us would be as strong?
Correct. Even if she was missing one of the three, you'd probably be in pretty good shape.
Okay.
Like, if we short rest with it, can we attune it out from underneath her? Or
I would assume that we could if she wasn't in there.
Or do we have to know the pin?
So
I do. I mean, I heard her say several pins while I was in there.
You could go in there and short rest and attune yourself to it. I will say, as your DM, because sometimes I don't telegraph things appropriately, attuning to a demonstrably evil artifact like this will have consequences.
That is fair.
Look, consequences?
Paige has tried to say this before.
Nobody
Didn't lead to anything. Let's do it.
Yeah, but are the consequences better or worse than just dying? Like, that's what you gotta weigh this again.
Hard to be.
Do I want to die to destroy it, or I just want to take some consequences and, like, that way have it?
Okay. No, I think we got a solid plan here. Ross gets in the cauldron, then we get out of here. So
I personally vote for the princess.
this is the vote.
No, the
Ross,
nice thing about
Ross,
loyalty is
by
I
saying
don't
that
need you to vote
sentence,
for
you
me.
can't go in the cauldron anymore. You ruined it. Well, we don't have any pure enough to go in the cauldron, I guess, then.
I mean, if we get to it, I might think about it, but, you're going to have to cut off a bunch of my hair or something so you can take that back home.
Oh, no, honey. That's not... Nope. I mean, okay, let me be clear. You get in the cauldron, you don't ever leave the cauldron ever. Like, you don't need that soul, right?
Oh, now I get it. It's going to kill whoever gets into it.
Yeah, I mean, kill might be the wrong word.
Are you just catching on to that now?
Kill is the wrong word, Ross. Unmake is a much better word. And much more accurate in this instance. It's not like you get in the cauldron, take a bath, it blows up, you get true rest, it's fine. Nope. Maybe wish? Maybe wish.
If the princess doesn't get back home, we miss out on the opportunity to get to the Singing Sands. Now I'm with it.
I bet you a miracle would work, but like have a chance of working. Like it'd be a die roll probably. Anyway, sorry. At the very least, we need to recover it. Yeah, we have no choice about recovering it. That's not a discussion. That's I think the only way we can escape is by recovering it. So Paige, if someone has their hands on it, is that enough to break the magic triumvirate?
No.
Okay.
Somebody would have to either attune to it or get it away from her
Okay.
for a while, like a day. And by away, I mean hundreds and hundreds of feet, hidden from her sight where she cannot get to it.
I don't think we're going to be able to achieve any of that in our current circumstance.
Perhaps next we should try and find an egress. I wonder if we could follow the water, maybe?
The water flows generally north to south.
I guess the other question is where is our stuff? I don't want to lose my spellbook if I can help it. I've had that sold for a long time.
She did mentioning packaging up your stuff as well as your persons as tribute to Thay, with the idea that your Forester brains have knowledge that they would like to have.
That's a good point. So our stuff is probably somewhere in here.
If the river is our way out,
Oh, we do have a time
getting
limit.
our stuff may not be an option.
And besides, Auntie she'll set you up with some spells afterwards if that's really a worry that you got.
I mean, it's definitely a worry that I have for sure.
If we get out safely, we can potentially ambush the Thayan caravan and get our stuff back that way.
You know, Thayans don't actually caravan so much as they just fucking teleport everywhere.
Oh, right, you're right. God, they're so annoying.
I know.
How high is the ceiling in here, Paige? Paige, I cannot hear you.
Yeah. It's about 10 feet in the area where you sleep up in the north area here.
Mm-hmm.
About 30 feet elsewhere.
Okay. So, with this shit packed in my ears right now, I'm able to do a few things, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so...
You also realize, I hope, that
Yes.
if they notice you doing things,
Yeah.
there will be consequences.
How well lit would you say the ceiling of this location is?
Dimly?
Dimly? Okay, so that's a perfect place for a giant freaking spider to hang out without being heavily noticed.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And there are notably large spiders here.
Mira is going to become a fiendishly large spider.
Like cat size? Like Doberman
Medium?
size? or-
Medium?
Okay, alright.
I mean, I don't know. I actually don't have anything smaller than medium at my... maybe I do, actually, because I can... I don't know why I'm using the high end of the CR range here. I could have been using... What's tiny? Let's see what's tiny.
Ooh.
Ooh, if you're tiny, you could probably fit through the bars.
A bat.
Is
I'm
it-
going
is
to
it-
be a bat.
Oh yeah, nobody will notice another bat.
Oh, but I can't fly as a creature here, right?
I don't know. There's your class, buddy. You tell me.
No. I'm pretty sure I can't.
I yet to play a druid in 5 years.
I feel like a badger would be really obvious. A frog. How about a frog?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, pigs eat frogs.
Pigs will eat anything they can put in their mouths. Pretty much just like people,
Right.
It's true.
including people.
Yes. Let's see if there's a small creature that will not get eaten by a pig.
I mean, like, is there some kind of like tiny spider option?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now. Is some sort of tiny spider option. I'll actually just
There should be a small spider. I believe it's an option for a find familiar spell.
Yeah, there's a tiny spider.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There's a regular spider option.
0.
Okay.
I'm going with the regular spider option.
Okay.
I'm climbing up this wall and I'm heading towards the cauldron.
Okay. You climby, get through here, climby. Some ogres walk by, climby. You get to the door is shut, but it's not properly weather sealed, so you can get under the door.
I'm shocked.
Climby. You're in the room with a cauldron.
You
Climb
did
up
it!
over where the cauldron is.
Yep. There it is, right there.
Oh, and with a donation from Bologna,
Mm.
Paige now has a inspiration to totally mess with you.
Boo.
It's like chat planned it this way.
Ugh.
You're the best chat.
I don't actually have to be in my human form to bathe in this thing, right? My Genasi form.
I've given Mira too much information, folks.
Apparently. There's only one way to find out.
She'll drop right in.
Okay. So
Oh no.
So I think this is a good place to end for tonight. We're a little early. We're
Like she's doing the thing, like she's in spider form, and she's just like,
she is
F it.
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
Yep.
YOLOing her way down.
Yep.
Yes. So I think this is a great place to end for tonight, and we will pick this up next week on Feats and Fables.
I mean,
that was not a thing I expected.
Nope.
Okay.
But talking about things you can expect, you can expect to have a great time.
Whoa!
With the Alder benefit that
What?
is place this upcoming weekend on the 18th and 19th, and we'll put a link to that both in chat and in our show notes. We have games going on both Saturday and Sunday, and we would love to see you there.
Definitely check out the Blue Beholder benefit. Sorry to kind of speak over you there, Ben, but Shuma has gifted a tier 1 sub to Feats and Fables. Oh, to the community. I was about to say,
Yes.
wait a minute.
Excellent.
To Chiron! Yay!
Hey, music.
Music. Give us music.
Shuma wants
Give
us
us
to
the
dance for their entertainment.
Come on, dance with us, chat. You can dance in your chair. It's good for you. Yeah, boogie. It's the sub dance.
When will it stop?
Never!
We'll stop with
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shuma, so much. And thank you, everybody else, for watching. I'm going to go ahead and take this time while Paige is still plugging in to also toss out a thanks to our newest follower, who is Glitterfem. So,
Hello,
Glitterfem,
Glitterfem.
thank you.
Woo!
And of course, Shuma for the subscription and the tier 1 gift subscription, and everybody who committed bits and participated in chat tonight. Thank you all so much.
Bologna, remind me in chat next week that I have that inspiration. Right.
It's your job.
All right. So let's. You know what? Well, here we go. Okay. So here's our outro. No, it is not our outro. There we go. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Please, if you can, follow and subscribe on Twitch. Subscribe on YouTube, support us on Patreon, or at least like us on iTunes. You can find us at Feats and Fables wherever you get your podcasts or streaming shows and on any of these platforms. Roll20 is our virtual tabletop. Our music is by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com as served by Roll20. The music can be licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. The maps tonight are from Storm King's Thunder. Thank you, Wizards of the Coasts. The art for our NPCs is generally from the Hero Forge token generator and also from Dead in Thay. Thank you, chat. You're an inspiration. We love having you with us. You're actually the reason why we do this more than anything else. So please join us next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to see what happens next and follow us to adventure!
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thanks.